So hi everyone, welcome back to DOREEN'S African Experiences, and we are going to talk about plastering. Remember, currently as of right now we are working on our single self-contained house with a store. You already have the measurements from the previous video, so at least now you know exactly what I'm talking about. Remember, some of you can have your single room self-contained even bigger than that. All right, now for this particular size we are talking about plastering, the cost of plastering. How much cement do you need to plaster both the ceiling, the walls inside and outside, right? We are also going to talk about the cost, how much sand you need. Remember, when you're plastering, you only need plaster sand, you don't need lake sand, which is a little bit cheaper because plaster sand is cheaper than lake sand. And then we are also going to talk about labor costs. We are also going to address how much time it will take you to actually fully plaster your single self-contained house. And what else? I'm also going to address, for those who don't want to tile that room and you just want to put nail on the floor, I'm also going to tell you how much that would cost you within the same video. And then in this same video, I'm also going to give you the cost of closing this house. You need one door, that's quite obvious. You don't necessarily need a window, depending on the reasons I'll be giving you in the video, all right? But if you need a window, I'll also give you the price of that window. You need a small window for your store and a small window for your bathroom. Yes, aeration is very important in those bathrooms, right? What else do you need? I think that's it. So we are addressing cost, labor cost, transportation cost, material cost, and time. Time is very important for me. I feel better today. I think sometimes how you wake up is how you're actually going to feel the whole day, usually, unless something really changes. And how you feel is how your day is going to be. Today I woke up in high spirits. I feel good. I won't lie, I feel good. There is really nothing special or extra about this day. It's just, I just feel good, okay? Enjoy the video and see ya. All right, fam, so we are now starting with explaining the cost of the cost of plastering an open gable roof house. Open gable roof house, yeah, you see that with a V on the sides, because after building it you come back and put the arch in order, right? You put some more bricks on there. Now to plaster that, it's a little bit more work and also a little bit more material, but it's also not too much. Now, for starters, I'll start with telling you exactly what you need. These things you already see, I'm not going to repeat. You need a wheelbarrow, you need these jerry cans. Please protect everything you have on site from the beginning. Keep it safe. Be it one nail, keep it. Because you're going to need these things as time goes by. If you lose your wheelbarrow, at this point of plastering, you might have to buy another wheelbarrow. That's more money for you, all right? You lose your spade, you need to buy another spade, okay? Now, we're going to start with the things you need to actually plaster. I'm going to start with inside the house, because there are some people who first plaster inside when the money is not there. But I'm just going to calculate the whole job. Though with material, I'll break it down for you so that you decide for yourself what you want to do. All right? So plastering your single self-contained house inside, you need 4 bags of cement. To plaster it inside, remember the measurements we had yesterday. 13 feet by 17 feet, right? That's the size of house we are talking about. Now, if you haven't cracked up yet, please go to my channel, go to my long content videos and look for the price or cost of roofing a single self-contained house. You see what I'm talking about. We measured out the house for you, okay? So you need 4 bags of cement inside. Now, that is including plastering the ceiling. The ceiling is what locally we call ungalama. Ngalama is the ceiling, all right? So they will plaster your ceiling, they will do finishing on the ceiling. These things I'm telling you are complete jobs. It includes plastering and finishing. Finishing, they go and draw those cones, what. So the money, I'll tell you after we go forward, it can cover all that. All right, so inside you need 4 bags of cement, right? They'll do the whole job, including your bathroom. Everything is plastered, all right? And then we have outside the house, right? We have 10 bags of cement outside the house. Outside the house, you need 10 bags of cement. So the whole plastering job will cost you 10 bags of cement. Now, these 10 bags of cement will only come in if you're going to also apply nail, okay? If you're going to apply nail. Nail is like cement on the floor, yeah? If you're not going to put tiles in your house, all right? But if you're going to put tiles in your house, then the number reduces by 2. You remove 2 bags of cement from your calculations. Are we following? If you are not going to put nail on the floor, because if you're going to put tiles, there is no need for you to put nail on your floor. So you need 12 bags of cement instead of 14 bags of cement. But if you're going to apply nail, coca cement, you know that cement floors, you've seen them. They were very common back in the day, but these days not so common. But you can also have them these days. If you're just building your simple boys' quarter or guest room or something and you don't have enough money. Yeah, but in the next video, I'll tell you how much it will cost you to actually tile this room and finish it to completion, yeah? To tile it and to paint it, okay? I'll tell you how much you need for that. But for now, we are focusing on the cost of closing the house and cost of plastering it. Remember, you put your doors and windows before you plaster, okay? Because you don't want your job to be redone over and over again. You're doing the same thing, all right? Now, when it comes to sand, you only need plaster sand. Thus, the word plastering. Now, you need about 2.5 elves of plaster sand, but just buy 3. There is no reason for you to buy 2.5. Just buy 3. You leave the sand remaining. You might need it for something. Who knows? All right? Now, people who are plastering for you should plaster at least 1 inch of plaster. All right? The mixing is usually 1 bag of cement to 4 wheelbarrows, at most 4 wheelbarrows of plaster sand. But there are people who can even put 5 wheelbarrows. Others will put 6 wheelbarrows. Remember, the more sand you put, yeah, you have to buy more sand and then reduce the cement. I hope you're following. At the end of the day, it's your house. You do whatever makes you happy, okay? So if you want to put 6 wheelbarrows of sand to 1 bag of cement, hey, the money will reduce, okay? But for me, the calculations, I give you a standard calculations, all right? But people still do it. And it also depends on which SEM of cement you have. If you actually have SEM 4 of Tororo cement, yeah, you can actually put those 5 bags of sand. Remember, it's a little bit more expensive, all right? But if you're using SEM 2, SEM 2 is 33,000 shillings. So if you're using SEM 2, please endeavor, okay, to just mix up to 4 bags of cement. You can even do 3. If you have a lot of money, you can do 3. You don't have to have a lot, but it's a standard. But up to 4, it's acceptable, all right? But if you want to do up to 8 wheelbarrows, then you might have to buy that Tororo cement, the one in the paper bag. That's, I think, 40,000 shillings. Hey, that one you can double all these, all right? So at the end of the day, it just comes down to you. The math doesn't lie. Construction is mathematics, all right? Now, my calculation for the sand, for the plaster sand, is 100,000 shillings. Remember, you people, I know, depending on where you are, some of you will buy the sand at 120, 130. Yeah, that's why I put aside that 100K, just in case. But it's also up to you. You people, plaster sand is excavated from swamps. Swamps. Those people who make clay bricks excavate this sand. You know how much they sell it down there? An elf truck, they're selling it at like at most 50K. So if someone is buying an elf truck of plaster sand from a swamp, there are swamps everywhere. This is Uganda. Every place you go to has a swamp. For you, every time you see someone making clay bricks, just know that there is a swamp there. And these people have the capacity to find sand in those swamps when they're excavating. All right? So it's really up to you to go down. Find these people. You can minimize cost, but if you can't, the most you should be paying for plaster sand is 100K. And please get fine sand. It should be clean. You know, there shouldn't be trash, those sticks, because remember it's coming from a swamp, so usually it's not so clean. All right? So endeavor to make sure your sand is clean. If it's not clean, you guys should clean it first. You see, plastering, you don't want to plaster your house and you have things popping through the wall, tiny sticks, leaves, and stuff like that. It's hectic. So try to buy sand that's actually clean. All right. Now, for every bag of cement you buy, you need 1 bag of waterproof. When you mix this, because plastering, you know, water, it means you're protecting your wall. And how else can you best protect your wall extra? By adding waterproof to your mix. Waterproof, a bag is 5,000 shillings. So if you're buying 12 bags of cement, you're going to buy 12 pieces of waterproof. Okay, are we together? You're going to get some eucalyptus poles, maybe 4 at most. Okay, you can get 2, 3, or 4. Every pole you've been buying from the time we started building this house, please keep it safe to avoid more costs. Even you might find that you don't need to buy this eucalyptus. If you kept your poles that people are using as ladders from the start, that people are using to sit your house, but some of you leave your things the way you want, and of course people will come and steal them, or take them and use them for their own things, or use them to cook. All right? And at the end of the day, people will start plastering and say, oh, we can't, because you see what he's doing. He's not tall enough to reach the top, so he needs ladders. All right? To reach the top. So at the end of the day, you have to buy more eucalyptus for him to make those ladders. Me, I've added that cost in there, just in case, because you might not have all your tall trees together. But in case you do, good for you. Try to keep your material, all right? Water, you remember you have that drum of yours. Those drums usually, maybe about 10-liter jerry cans can fill that drum that you saw me showing you. Okay, the most you need to spend on water throughout the whole job should be 50K. Why are you paying more than, even if you're paying 1,000 shillings per jerry can of water for someone to deliver it to you? Okay, you don't need 100,000 shillings for water to build a single room. Nah, even that 50K will remain. All right, just try to use your money wisely. It's that simple. And then labor. Now, labor. When you are when you're plastering an open gable roof house, remember there is more work because of the arch. When someone is doing a flat roof, they're not going to build again to add to the house after roofing. No. When someone is doing a hipped roof, okay? Hipped roof, there are many. Even that one is a hipped roof. Let me show you. Let me show you. I want you to understand what I'm talking about. I'm going to stand in this small compound and show you 2 different houses, and then you see the difference in what I'm talking about. Okay, you see that house right there? That's a hipped roof. You see that? It's a hipped roof. But you see this house right here? That's an open gable type of roofing. Are we following? So if someone is plastering your house and it's a hipped roof and it's a single self-contained, it should be a little bit cheaper. I'll give you the price. But if someone is going to plaster this, you see the heights. Someone has to go all the way up and plaster. Now, that's why for this single self-contained house, that's why we need that 1 bag to cover this side and the other side for that small house of ours that we are working on. So the cost for someone to actually plaster for you this single self-contained house, all right, is 400,000 shillings. Yes, it includes plastering, it includes finishing, it includes everything. All right, plastering, finishing, everything included. Yeah. And if you're lucky, you can even negotiate a smaller bill. You know, some of these things, I told you, negotiate. For me, I've negotiated for you a price I know. But you might be lucky and you even get someone to do for you the job at 300K. All right? Remember, when a house is smaller, it's actually more costly to plaster. When a house is bigger, you can actually negotiate your way out. Is more simpler. Okay, we've talked about transport and labor fee. Now, by transport and labor fee, what I mean by this, you put aside 150K. This 150K should be enough to feed your guys, should be enough to transport your material on site, should be enough to transport your workers on site. Are we following? Yeah. We are still working on our single self-contained house. In this same video, I'm going to tell you how much money you need to close this house. Now, someone asked me a question. Why doesn't this house have a window? The whole point of a window is for aeration, by the way, and light. If you're building a single self-contained house, I'm telling you, unless it has divisions, there is no need for you to actually put a window. Now, if you want a window, of course you can have a window. But if you're going to have a door, try to make sure your door looks like this. And you don't have a window, I'll tell you how much this door costs in a little bit. Alright? After I'll give you different totals to what you actually need. Now, this particular door right here brings in enough air into your house. Trust me, it's enough. Your house is aerated, your house is fine. The light you get is enough. This is a single self-contained house. Remember, the small bathroom inside has a window. Okay, the store has a small window. There is no need for you to put a big window in a store. These windows here are affordable. They start from 100K to 150,000 shillings. And if you are lucky and you're buying from the same person, they can even give it to you at 90,000 shillings. This small window here. All right. Now, but for me, I'll do math for 120,000 shillings. And this door right here, the store door, because you see this store door, this particular store door has rovers as well. You know, sometimes you don't even have to put this car window there if you don't want, because you already have enough light coming through the door because of the rovers. The rovers are giving this room enough aeration. If you don't have money, there is no need for you to put it, because the store is small. The aeration that's coming from rovers is enough for your things to stay comfortably okay inside there. Are we following? The whole point for rovers is the whole point for ventilators. All right. Remember, every time your door has rovers, it costs a little bit more. But if you know you can't afford those rovers, put your ventilators. Ventilators are like 500 shillings each. Put like 4 here. Then buy a door without rovers. Have them mechanize for you a door without rovers. Okay? Now, at the end of the day, whatever I'm telling you is actually cash saving. It's supposed to save you money. You know, this is supposed to save you money. If you want to go all out, put a window, put doors, put what, I'll also tell you how much that will cost you. But at the end of the day, I want you to save as much money as you can on this project. So, some people will buy a door, a single door that has a window attached to it. I'm going to show you how that looks. The prices are not so different. Now, to buy this door, this double door, right now in Uganda, depending on the metal and the gauges you're getting, because when I look at these gauges, it's about 1 millimeter, I think. Yeah? 1 millimeter, the most you should be paying for 1 millimeter door gauge like this is 350K. But even then, remember the importance of buying from one person, everything. It gives you chance to negotiate. Okay, if you're buying this door, right, because this is a solid steel door, but the millimeters are not so heavy because it's a store. All right, no one is going to keep much in here, so you can get any millimeters that you're comfortable with. Oh, the millimeter and gauges. Remember, when I talk about millimeters, I'm talking about gauges. All right, so this door here shouldn't cost you more than 350K because it's a double opening door. But if it's a single door where you open one door like this and you enter, those doors, depending on the size, because this one is a big house actually, their doors are high. They're like 8 feet. That's really high. So if you're getting your door that's like 7 feet, so 6 foot, 7 foot, you know, you shouldn't be paying more than 200K for that door. I'm serious. So it's imperative that you try to build, have a plan. Don't just build things and then later decide to start struggling with prices. By the way, it's cheaper to spend on more bricks than to buy this metal, because you want to put a good door so that the people you're building for don't get robbed. All right, but someone is going to break into this thing and rob these people. So try to make sure your door is at least 7 foot. All right, and if you're going up to 8 foot, that's also okay. Okay, it's also good for you. At the end of the day, you're helping yourself. Now I'm going to also change a few things. Now I'm going to show you how much you would pay if you're plastering a flat roof or a hipped roof. Now all these things are going to come with explanation, without a window, without nail, with nail, without. I'm going to explain all those things. If you're plastering this single self-contained flat roof house, the cost should be the same as a hipped roof. All right, it should be the same. Now labor goes down. If there is no nail inclusive, labor goes down by 100K. All right, and then if there is nail, labor only goes down by 50K. And then the bags of cement reduce by 4. Okay, if it's either hipped or flat roof, labor goes down. Without nail, labor goes down by 100K. With nail, labor goes down by 50K. That's 50,000 shillings. Then even with a window, I'll give you the total, but I just wanted to focus on labor first. Without nail on a flat or hipped roof, labor goes down by 100K. With nail, it goes down by 50K. Same price, everything is same price. And then the cement goes down, nothing else, just the cement and then the waterproof. Remember, the number of cement bags you have is the number of waterproof that you need. All right? Okay, it's raining again. All right, let me try to read for you my totals. All right? Now, I've told you the cost of doors and windows, and I've explained to you the circumstances under which you should be paying a certain amount for a certain door. If you want to have specifics, please go to my video on the current prices of all metallic doors. You'll be able to see these things. But I know for a fact those prices Amos gave me can even go lower. Okay, because I've bought some very nice metallic doors that are star plated. The design was star plate, and I bought them at 180,000 shillings. Yes. So at the end of the day, you must understand, how do you talk to these people? What do you need? You know, what do you need? Now, let me read for you the totals of this. And now you have everything you need. You have the prices of everything. Don't hesitate to ask if you need more clarification on something. All right? Now, I'm going to start with an open roof gable house. All right? If you are plastering and doing nail with a door and no window on the house, your total should be 2,018,000 shillings. All right? If you are plastering an open gable roof and you're not going to put a window on your house, and you're only going to put those 2 small bathroom sized windows on the bathroom and then on the kitchen or the store, and also the door, that is your total. All right? If you are plastering and you're putting nail in your house, remember, nail is that smoothening you do on the floor if you're not going to put tiles. So if you are plastering and doing nail, and then you have a window as well on this house, remember the first one there was no window, on the second one there is a window inclusive. The total has a window inclusive. The total is 2,218,000 shillings. Okay? Now, if you are plastering this open gable roof house, okay, you're not putting nail in this house, and you have your door already, but you're not putting a window. okay? You don't have to have your door, but if your whole total includes the door, it should be 1,892,000 Ugandan shillings. Now, if you're plastering this house of yours, single self-contained house, okay, with a store, there is no nail in this house, but you're putting a window on it. Are we following? Your total should be 2,092,000 shillings. Should I repeat? Let me repeat. Enkuba. Enkuba chenkola. Anzideno mukasonda. Open gable roof design of house. I've showed you what that looks like. If you are plastering this house, both inside and outside, finishing inclusive, all costs attended to, and you are putting nail on your floors. Nail is the cement, what you call cemented houses, yeah? Chitegeza. If you are going to put tiles, there is no need for you to put nail in the house. Just leave it as it is, and then the tile guys will come in later when you hire them, and then they will do what they're supposed to do. There is a different process to tiling. I'll show you. Are we following? So if you're plastering this house and you're putting nail in it, and you're putting, you're not putting a window on this house, just like these houses that you've been watching me film today. Your total on the whole job should be 2,018,000. But if you are plastering this house, okay, you're putting nail on the floors of this house, okay, but you are choosing to put a window, unlike these people I've been filming, your total should be 2,218,000 shillings. Remember, it can be less. How? It depends on how you use your material, okay? It depends on how you negotiate with your people. You can get people who are cheaper, or you can mix your cement higher. It's up to you. It's your house. Whatever you want to do with your house is really what you want to do. For us, the best we can do is advise, but we cannot tell you what to do, okay? Now, if you are plastering this house, both inside and outside, and you are not putting nail on the floors of this house, okay? And you are not putting a window as well, this is your total. It's 1,892,000 Ugandan shillings. I'm continuing. If you are plastering this house, okay, inside and outside, you're not putting nail on the floors, but you are saying, I want a window on the house, okay? By not putting nail, it means you are going to put tiles in the future. This is your total. 2,092,000 Ugandan thousand shillings. Are we together? Okay. Now, these new numbers that I'm giving you are for people who constructed a flat roof or a hipped roof. Hipped roof, I've showed you how that looks. Okay. Mukufunza a hipped roof. Webamala okusereka tebakomawo kutungirira. Tebakomawo sizo zibaite za mwamba. Eze nyumba za mwamba, eh? Those are hipped roofs or flat roofs or hidden roofs. Whichever you decide to do, these prices work for you. Now, if you are deciding to plaster your flat roofed house and you are not going to put a window on it, okay? But you are putting nail on the floors of this house, your total should be 2,052,000 Ugandan shillings. Now, the second alternative. If you are plastering this flat roofed house of yours, Eyamwamba, over the hipped roof, whichever, or hidden roof, and you are putting a window on this house of yours, unlike some people that I see here who didn't put a window, And you're also saying, I'm going to put nil on the floors of this house. Your total should be 2,252,000 Ugandan shillings. Are we together? I proceed to the other alternative. If you are plastering this flat roofed house of yours, it can be flat roofed, it can be hipped, it can be a hidden roof kind of house. These are the totals you need. If you're plastering this house, okay, both inside and outside, and you're not putting a window, you're also not putting nail. Why? Because you will put tiles in the future. This is your total. Your total should be 1,936 Ugandan, well, 36,000 Ugandan shillings. Are we following? Now, if you continue, there are 4 alternatives to each of these, by the way. If you are plastering a flat roofed house, okay, and you're putting a window on it, but no nail. No nail means you put tiles in the future. This is what you need. The money you need is 2,136,000 Ugandan shillings. This money is expected to take you through the whole process, and you have some balance. Remember, the balance that you will have, okay, depends on you. It depends solely on you. How do you negotiate with your workers? How do you move your material? Because usually I advise, collect your material at once and move it at once. Okay? Why must you pick cement 2 bags? That transportation cost is gone. Then again, collect 1 bag. Then send for 2 eucalyptus poles. No. First relax. Get the money together. Move at once. Get your things. You can even hire. You see that elf truck? Eh? It depends on how far you're going. But if you're not going very far, that person won't charge you more than 30k to move all those things together. Like they can go stopping and putting all of them. And then they bring them to you on site at once. But if you don't have where to keep them, then get a hardware nearby where the border guy won't charge you more than 3k. You know? And then move your things. So before I close the video, I want to show you this joint door and window. Even these things are actually charged separately just because they are installed at once. It looks like this. Now this is Mwamba house. It's a hipped roof. So this is how a joint door and window looks like. The prices are also similar. This entire thing shouldn't cost you more than 500k. Learn to negotiate. Ooh, a tiny bird. Wait. What is it doing? Eating. Javale. See, when he opens it, the window stays closed. And this is a sliding window. By the way, prices are not so different. Now we're gonna these guys are also plastering. Hey, gakanyirira. Abane milimo mwajingira tewangamba. Temilimo mwajingira daji. Bane ebicuba byange. Ngasimanyi nti obikola. Okukola. Mweyagadde mumpe ku sente. Oba sente zammwe z'abakyala bammwe. Abakyala temulina mwabavaako. Nabadde ndaba Uncle Mo leero. N'agamba nti woba toli mwetegefu kugwa ddala abakazi baveeko. People, it's raining. I love rain. The farmer part of me loves rain. So, my friends, if you have any questions, please ask. I am always going to answer your questions. If I even have to make a video for you, I'll make it. What's the point of not helping people when they need help, you know? The truth is, I have access to a lot of information. And, you know, I don't have too many people to share it with. But when I put information here, I know hundreds of people watch me. And they get information. And some get saved, you know. It's helpful. Now this one had to buy new poles. This is not even eucalyptus, which means it's cheaper. You know, you can always find a way of saving money, people. Save money. Construction is one of those things that has no returns. I say this all the time. You're not cutting corners. You know, the only points where you shouldn't cut corners, Banag. You shouldn't cut corners on measurements. You shouldn't cut corners on the what? On the right people to do the job. Not every single day. You know, negotiate. When you negotiate and get a fair price, you get a good deal. It's not cutting corners. It's helping yourself. All right, Abdu. Mwami Abdallah. Katumusibule. Thank you for watching DOREEN'S African Experiences. By the way, by the end of the week, we'll have a full total. For me, the reason I give you options, because we are not the same person. Everyone wants something else. We all want different things. So for me, I can make a video of only a flat roof. Go hipped roof. What am I supposed to do? So the person watching my video won't feel helped. They won't feel helped. So that's why I make multiple alternatives so that everyone gets something. I'm closing the video. Thank you for watching. Bye. See you in the next one. Omwana koze plaster anyirira okufa. By the way, don't plaster outside. When the rain comes, stop. But these guys are plastering inside. Their job looks very clean. But now, okay, we are back to DOREEN'S African Experiences. It's raining, more like drizzling. All right, so right now we are doing the current prices of roofing a single self-contained house or room with a store. All right, now the thing is, I want you people to kindly listen carefully, because the things I'm about to explain to you have differences. Yes, they do. We have what they call an open gable house or type of roofing. All right, this is the open gable roof. You see that, where you have to come back and build an arch. And then we have a flat roof, that pink house. Remember it from my previous video. That is a flat roof. And then we have a hipped roof. Hipped roof, I didn't give you the price of roofing a hipped roof simply because I didn't have a lot of demand for it in this small house. All right, and also to minimize expenses. But that's a hipped roof. You see that? Side by side. You see that the side where you're supposed to come and build bricks, you actually roof that side. It's like a triangle. All right, like, hey, man, the rain is a lot. Let me try to explain this from sheds. I cannot afford to have rain. Man, I have to pause this. Damn.